Hello and welcome to the 9.5 patch overview. I am here with Jean. Jean, how are you?
I'm great. Happy to be there.
Awesome to have you once again. Jean, you are going to be talking about the balance changes that are coming with the update. But before we get into that, as you guys probably know, tomorrow is the update because you're watching this on Wednesday. And also, you probably also know, if you watched Open number 4, that the Savin event is also coming tomorrow. So get ready for that one, because we will be helping out the crones to do chores. Yes, chores. And if you help them out, you will be able to get cool card backs and avatars and stuff like that. You can choose to take one side, but you can then choose to do the second one or the third one. You can do all three. And if you do all three, you get even more awesome stuff. So I would recommend helping all three, because there is a coin and is a border and yeah, lots of cool trinkets and stuff. And speaking of trinkets, we also will have the older Salvin stuff on sale, minus 30% for all the spooky ornaments. So get those while they are there. And yeah, cool event starts on Thursday, and then it will last, I think for a week. So totally check that out. Apart from that, there will be more changes which will be coming with the patch notes, which you'll be able to see on playgwent.com in the news section as always after this video is done. So yeah, check it out. It's gonna be awesome. But without further ado, since we have Jean here, let's talk about the balance changes. And I think we should start with neutrals, right?
Yes.
Good. So starting with neutrals, we have one thing to highlight. We have the mushy truffle.
Yeah. So the mushy truffle went from 9 provision to 10 provision. It's a strong card, right? With the new bonded cards that have been introduced to the game, we've seen a lot of original use of the card. We feel like it's performing a bit too well, especially since these bonded cards are usually pretty strong. So we're bringing the mushy truffle a bit down.
Yeah, I also saw this card being played in the recent Open, and yeah, I can totally say it is quite powerful. I agree with you here. Moving on, straight into monsters, since this is the only change for neutrals, we have the card we want to highlight is the Toad Prince. Beast First. Deploy melee, consume a unit with 4 or less power. The 4 is highlighted there for a reason.
Yes, Toad Prince used to be limited to 3 or less power, and we've increased that by 1 point. And this 1 point means a lot, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because now the maximum value you can get through the card is 11 points instead of 9, so plus 2. And the second thing is that it's going to be much easier to find a target that you can actually eat. 3 power used to be very difficult and unreliable for monster to find.
Nice. Good stuff. Moving on to the other changes that we have. Here you can see them on your screen. What's worth mentioning here?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I mean, it's a lot of buffs to cards which have been underperforming. I guess there's like a common pattern of some Deathwish card getting some love.
Nice. Awesome. All right, moving on to Skellige. First card we want to highlight is Blood Eagle. What's the change here?
So it's not an effect change. It's not a provision change. It's a behavior change.
Ooh.
So the way Blood Eagle used to work is that even though it was damaging a unit, you needed to have the Bloodthirst requirement met before you were playing the card. So when you were playing Blood Eagle, you needed 3 units to be damaged on your opponent's side. Otherwise, you didn't get the Bloodthirst. We changed that so that the Bloodthirst would be checked after you dealt the damage. So if there is 2 damage units and then you damage the 3rd one, you get the Bloodthirst effect.
Okay. That makes sense. Cool change. Moving on, we have Fukusia, also a powerful card, also a card that was very prevalent in the last Open. What's happening here?
Quite powerful, so we decided to bring its power from 5 power to 4.
Nice, and that's the only change for it. Easy. When it comes to other Skellige changes, here you can see them on your screen. So
it's worth noting that the Style Blood Ravager got the same treatment as Blood Eagle. And yeah, aside from that, a bit of buff all across the board.
Yeah, and also German Villager. Bleeding in both instances changed to 4. I think that's also quite interesting.
Back to the power level it was when it released.
Exactly. All right, next up we have NR, and here we want to start with the Aretusa Adept.
Yes.
So a change of provision, right?
Absolutely. One of the core components of the Meditating Mage deck. To be fair, Adept was a card that we were looking into already for a while because for the definition of what we consider a 4 provision engine, it was strong, but there wasn't necessarily enough patience units at the time in the game to push it over the edge. We have crossed that threshold.
Yeah.
It seems very obvious to everyone now, so one more provision.
Nice. Okay, and since we started on the topic of Meditating Mages, Meditating Mage! Ooh, change here.
Yeah,
Power.
so the third nerf to that deck, since it's Mushy Truffle, Adept, and now the Mage itself, going down by 1 power, and since this card is all about resilience, like keeping it on the board and spawning a lot of them if you're playing that specific deck, that 1 power nerf is gonna hit a lot.
Exactly. Nice, nice. And speaking of other NR changes, here they are. Anything to highlight here?
Oh, once again, buff all across the board. I must say I'm quite into the change we've made to Renard Odo, adding formation to it and changing it to order. And I also like that we added cooldown to Caro Ballista.
Yep. Nice. Okay, now moving on to the best faction. 2 cards to highlight here. One of them is Salve. And there is a change to the boost, if I remember correctly. Yes, boost an ally unit by 5.
Provision.
And provision. Okay.
Yes. So the provision used to be 9,
so
and
a
now
big
it's
change.
7.
So that's a big change.
Yes, and because that was such a big change, we decided that we would also lower the boost by 1, so from 6 to 5. So don't get it wrong, this is a buff.
Nice. Nice. Looking really, really... So I'm really happy about this change. Speaking of changes, we also have Sorceress of Dol Blathana, and the provision here is going up, if I can see it correctly.
So another of Scoia'tael high-performing cards.
Oh, yes.
It's pretty much the same, where we'll realize that the utility and the value that the card was bringing, especially considering the NBuff packages, it deserves to be higher in terms of provision, hence the change to 6.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, like you said, a card that is a staple now in Scoia'tael. Also speaking of the recent open, because it was super recently, a lot of players brought the version that of course had Sorceresses of Dol Blathana everywhere, so not surprised about this change. Speaking of other changes, change to Torque's Power and Elver War Dancer and Riot Brigade all going up.
Yeah, players have noticed that the Henbuff archetype was not necessarily as strong as they expected. So we've added a small buff to Torque.
Nice. Cool stuff. Moving on to Nilfgaard, here we just have the list of changes. What would we like to highlight here? I don't think we have a card separately, but there are some changes here.
Yeah, a few things which are worth mentioning. So Coup de Grace being nerfed from 9 provision to 10. We don't necessarily expect that change to make a lot of waves, but the card has proven to have become a staple of the game plan of NG, and so we felt like it deserved to be rated a bit higher. I'm very fond of the change we've introduced to Mage Infiltrator, since if it kills a unit, Mage Infiltrator will now jump back to your side of the board, which means that it's potentially 2 more points, since you remove 1 point from your opponent and +1 on your side. And following the change we've made to spying on the 9.4 patch, we've added back the effect on Viper that it would gain spying when it was summoning back to your side of the board.
Nice, nice, really cool stuff. And lastly, we have Syndicate, and wow, a lot of changes here.
Yes, Syndicate has been a bit booed by player following the duel bench.
Agreed.
So yeah, buff all across the board to multiple underplayed card.
Nice, nice. So that's it, right? Those are the changes we wanted to highlight, but like we said in the beginning, the rest you will see in the patch notes, which are also dropping today after this video. Any final words, John, that you want to add apart from the stuff that we just covered?
No, that's everything I had today.
Nice. Awesome. So thank you as always for joining me. I forgot to mention that you have a beautiful crown because, of course, as most of you know, we are celebrating 5 years of GWENT. It's been a long journey. You joined, when did you join, like a year ago or less than a year ago?
Yes, almost, slightly over a year ago now, but it's basically been 1 year.
Nice, nice.
And I've been very happy about it.
That's really awesome. Yeah, I've been with the project since the very, very beginning, and yeah, I think it always ceases to amaze me how everything is changing. But I'm happy we get more awesome new people that we can do dev streams with. So, Jean, thank you for taking your time. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Check out the patch notes on playgwent.com, and yeah, we shall catch you with patch 9.5 on Thursday. Take care, all. Bye.
Hey, everyone.